Welcome to my Game Week 3 FPL review. Now this week we had a lot of turns, a lot of different things that I could have gone for. If you were on my Twitter, you guys would have seen that I was freaking excited. I was looking at my team, I was like, oh my god, I'm going to fall off so hard. And the opposite happened. We got saved by the Lord. Okay, so let's get into it as we look at my FPL Game Week 3 review. So just looking at my team then, guys, we're going to go from the defense all the way to the attack, and I'm going to talk you through every single player on my team. So in goalkeeper, we had Johnston. Now, Johnston didn't do too well in this game week, but he was always a write-off for me. So in this game week, obviously, he had a 1-1 draw with Brentford, and obviously he blanked as well. I sort of expected him to blank. I thought that maybe he could do well and Bremer would do bad, vice versa. It didn't really happen this week, but him blanking is not too bad. Anana blanked this week, Areola blanked this week, Turner blanked this week, Edison even blanked this week, Allison blanked. Like every single goalkeeper you can think of that we have in the teams, most of them did blank. The only one that didn't blank was Sarr from Wolves and obviously the Spurs keeper. Apart from that, every other goalkeeper blanked this time. So then just going on then, we're looking at the defense. Estepinian, obviously, he didn't have a very good game week. They obviously lost 3-1 to West Ham. He was alright. He looked alright in the game. I wouldn't say that he did anything that means that I should get him out. But we do have to look at his future fixtures. Now, last week I spoke about keeping Gabriel. We'll get on to Gabriel in a second. But Brighton's fixtures suck. And losing to West Ham like that does make me a little bit fearful that the McAllister Caicedo void that they are leaving is actually quite a big deal. They got Newcastle next, which despite them losing to Liverpool and Man City, I still think is a very challenging fixture for them. And then you've got Man United after that away. Now, Man United haven't really looked that good at the start of the season. I definitely think Brighton could definitely beat us. But it's hard to see. Like, Brighton don't have very good fixtures. Obviously, from game week 10 onwards, they have some very good fixtures. But I don't think Estepinian's quite a write-off yet. You can definitely hold him. He's not going to drop in value. And he's probably a luxury transfer if you are going to get him out. So I definitely would hold Estepinian this week. Now on to the saviour of my game week, the one who pushed me through, got me 67 points in total, and this one is why I was debating a really long time to do Gabriel to Saliba, playing Saliba this week, or just playing Udogie and keeping my rolling a transfer, so I have 2 transfers this week. And by golly, Udogie proved me right. 12 points this week. If we just look at his stats, he played 81 minutes, he got 1 assist, he got 3 bonuses, kept a clean sheet, and he was on literally everyone's bench this week. And that is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So I'm really happy that I went with him this week. He did very, very well for me. Now moving on to Chilwell then. Chelsea bounced back against Luton. Now Luton haven't been great this season, have they? So it's hard, but it's good to know that Chelsea aren't dropping stupid points. Now, 1-1 draw with Liverpool, a 3-1 loss to West Ham, who did just beat Brighton. So West Ham have got quite a good start of the season. Then a 3-0 win against Luton with amazing fixtures. Forest next, Bournemouth, Villa, Fulham, Burnley. I would say Forest is probably the hardest with Fulham, and obviously Villa is definitely hard. But they've definitely got a great run of fixtures until they play Arsenal in game week 9. And with Reece James coming back, game week 5, they're even going to look even stronger. And Augusta did well this week, but obviously Reece James probably will start ahead of him. But they looked amazing against Luton. They looked like, especially in the second half. The first half was maybe a bit of the write-off for them, but the second half they looked really, really superb, especially Sterling, who I will get on to at the end of this as well. But definitely a very good start for Chelsea, and I'm very confident in them going on. So Chilwell's very good. Now we get on to the midfield. Martinelli. Bloody Nelly. He's the tricky one because, right, let's just look at his history. He scored against Liverpool, or he scored against Forest, he got a result. He didn't do very well against Palace when they won 1-0. He didn't do very well against Fulham despite starting the whole of the game. Now, Jesus is back. He's definitely going to be starting out the squad. You're not going to keep Havertz there. You're not going to keep Nketiah there. You're not going to keep Trossard there. When Jesus is ready to start, he will definitely be the one starting in that. Martinelli does incredibly well with Jesus, which is a challenging one. And just looking at the fixtures, Man United next. Then you've got Everton, Spurs, Bournemouth, Man City, Chelsea. So you're playing Man City, Chelsea, Spurs, Man United in 4 out of the 7 games there. Or how many games there? Like, I don't know. But they're playing Bournemouth and Everton there as well. So that's obviously 6, not 7. But yeah, he's definitely on my radar to get out. I think it might be time to go for Martinelli. I think especially when you've got people like Maddison and you've got Sterling performing game after game, it is definitely something I would definitely go with. Now shifting on, let's just talk about Saka. He did very well in that game. He obviously came clutch and scored a goal, got 1 bonus, and he could still be on pens. He's returning against Forest and Fulham. He obviously blanked against Palace. Definitely think Saka is a hold for me. Don't need to get everyone out. But he's 8.7 million. Martinelli is 8 million. So it is a bit of capital you're losing there. But I think that's okay for the start of the season. I think that Saka is definitely the more explosive one out of the pair. Now, we're talking about pairs. Bruno Fernandes and Rashford redeemed themselves by getting the points against Forest. Now, Bruno looked incredibly well in that game. He got a goal. He got an assist. Obviously, it was a penalty, but it doesn't matter. He got 3 bonuses. Rashford came clutch and he got 2 assists, I think. Yeah, 2 assists. I think he got 1 for the penalty as well. And looked very well as well. So I think they're both a hold for me. I think definitely don't sell Bruno and definitely hold Rashford. So I'm definitely going to be doing 1 transfer on Martinelli. It's probably where I'm leaning to right now. But then let's talk about Mbeumo. He got a 2-pointer. Okay, that's fine. Obviously, in the absence of Ivan Toney, he's not going to perform every single week. Ivan Toney didn't perform every single week. You're not really going to expect that. Crystal Palace may be a little bit challenging or more challenging than Fulham. Obviously, did well against Tottenham as well. But he's got a beautiful next fixture against Bournemouth, which I think you have to play him for. So I'm definitely going to keep Mbeumo as well. Jackson performed well. Beautiful stuff. João Pedro is gone out after getting 1 goal in his first game. Jackson was definitely the transfer for me. He definitely did well coming into my side, and his fixtures look amazing. And you just know he's going to get minutes unless somehow Lukaku gets brought back to Chelsea or they sign another striker, which honestly I don't think they will. But he looked very good. He scored a goal. The second half was really good. The first half was a bit bad, which maybe is a bit worrying signs, but he definitely performed better than my other option, which would have been Alvarez. Now, moving on to our captain, Haaland. He got 4 points. Obviously, he scored a goal, but he missed a pen, which was a bit annoying. He's actually not had a great start to the season. Obviously, he scored twice against Burnley. He blanked against Newcastle and then scored against Sheffield. So, I think Haaland is obviously still a keep. You're never going to go without Haaland, but he's doing a little bit worse. So maybe if you were lowering your points, maybe you want to go without Haaland, maybe this is the week to try and go for it. I'm not sure who Man City got next week. I think they've probably got an easy fixture. Yeah, Fulham, who are not looking great this season. So I'd definitely hold him for that. Let's talk about my bench then. Turner got 3 points. Okay, he got 1 more point than obviously Johnston. That's alright. I mean, he got some save points and stuff, but I was never going to play him in that game. Next game week, he's got Chelsea and Johnston obviously has Wolves, so I'm going to play Johnston in that game. Gabriel didn't even play a single minute last time, and I'm still thinking he's a hold. Okay, surely Arteta right now is thinking Zinchenko, Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White, going to keep a clean sheet, move Partey back to the midfield, take Havertz, bench him. Please. It's against Man United as well. I think Gabriel is still a hold for me. I might move to Saliba if I can't think of any other transfers and I could just burn a transfer that way. Because at some point I've probably just got to move on and do that. Then Botman obviously got 2 points but is injured, which is a bit annoying for me because I want his rotation for the Sheffield United, Burnley, West Ham, Crystal Palace, Wolves games from game week 6 onwards. So he's definitely on my radar there. If I just go to pick team for this week, like obviously we've got the whole Man United Arsenal assets to think about. It's going to be quite tough to do that, but I kind of don't know if I should play Botman this week. Obviously, Burnley for Tottenham, Nottingham Forest for Chilwell, Newcastle for Estepinian, so he could play above them. I'm not going to play Gabriel this week. Anyway, sorry. But I do think that, yeah, it's going to be quite tough to do that. And then moving on from just sitting on my bench at a 4.5 million forward. He's probably not going to get any minutes anytime soon, but who knows, maybe he will. Obviously, if you went with Archer, maybe you've got a little bit of a better one, but are you ever actually going to play Archer in your teams? I doubt anyone is actually going to do that. So now just quickly talking about my transfer moves. Okay, Martinelli going to be going out. My two options are Foden, who obviously came on did very well there, or Sterling or Maddison. I'm leaning towards Maddison right now. I think Maddison is more proven. He's shaken off an injury. He has played every single minute and he's done well. Sterling obviously played a little bit well against West Ham when they lost, and then really well last game. So I don't know if the Sterling hype trade is kind of gone, or he will continue to do that well in Poch's side. I think Maddison's probably more of the safer bet. Sterling's like the middle bet, and then Foden's kind of the one if you want to go try and catch up points and play. Because Foden can be very good. And I think if I knew he was going to play 90 minutes in this Man City team, I would get him in. But when you've got Alvarez, Bernardo Silva coming in, you just really don't know how often he's going to play. Saying that, my other transfer, I still think about doing Gabriel to Saliba, as I slowly am going down in money from Gabriel, but I think I'm going to hold him yet again. I think my plan right now with Gabriel, right, is to hold him, see if he gets minutes against Man United. Obviously, if they do well against Man United and he plays, then he should keep his place in the side for Everton and then continue in the squad. Now, I was very surprised he didn't play the last game. I think last game maybe Arsenal, I like the way that he's using him is absolutely outrageous, honestly. I think it's a bit of a disrespect to Gabriel. Just looking at the team, like Ben White, Saliba, okay, but you're putting Kiwior left back and Partey right back when you don't have, like, you literally didn't have anyone. Yes, you have Zinchenko on the bench, you just come back from injury, but you can't be playing him in this sort of lineup. I think it's a huge disrespect not to play him. And you played him against Man City in the Community Shield. He didn't make a major mistake in that game. He played all right. Like, obviously, Man City dominated that game, but they won the game. And I think that he should definitely be giving a chance in the side when he comes back. So apart from that, guys, yeah, that's all I'm thinking of. Let me know what you guys are thinking of for this game week. But tomorrow, I will be coming back to you with a video of my sort of game week 4 preview and telling you what I really think should be happening. But thank you guys for watching. Try and come watch another video and we'll continue on the grind